Okay, abusuya akunta mining bruhaha eno ena yeguso ede ehonsem ede bremu na wo hwe akunta mining eye update yede ebremu ni nyina abusuya Akuffo Addo din apiemu ni din afinga in eye update na yede ebremu na sisi ano President Mahama eba be set up commission na chese omode ato omonsa ede afre Akuffo Addo for a massive investigations. And enye akunta mining nko during Akuffo Addo ni 8 tenure no ne atrocities na if the prosecution no na enye yi ana enhyasia ye ba be set up commission of enquiry na ye dey investigate eye Akuffo Addo na ya to questions amane man the likes of National Cathedral scandal ene say pay cut be ekoko so ne Akuffo Addo bone a ode edi oman no abusuya sa commission no e ba be koso ayisi ano President Akuffo Addo na so ayehye na o hye Ghana mbrede mu na se okotena fie as former president no se 3 years etwa mu pe yentumi prosecute former president bia e Ghana enti Akuffo Addo sisi ano empenfo Atrocities say omo ba be yes ade no Ivan Cheyi eden sem bi aba beto dwa fa omo yenko na yenko nkotie ensem a ekoso unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so ensa into me enter bi Ghana Politics Avenue so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na be any update bi aba drop bi ano wonsa ebetu me akabi former president Akuffo Addo ono ene ya project in the picture e dey ato your screen no enchen e dey amamo no Entino sisi ano commission ye ba be set up na chese yade atoto na no a enye asemketo akwa mom yenko na yenkonkotie ensema ekoso Ivan Cheyi mom yenko na yenkonkoti medamase
President Mahama nafi yenko Ivan so
make sure that we leave office. When you leave office, you must be able to hold your head high. Wake up in the morning and not fear that anybody will call you to come and account for anything because you did things the way you should have done them. Recently, I've been watching the Public Accounts Committee, and it's so pathetic. You know, why must we every year congregate at the Public Accounts Committee, and then you hear all kinds of atrocious, things. I mean, recklessness with public funds and resources. And so I have a meeting on Thursday with the Chief Justice, the Attorney General, and others to find a final solution to this Auditor General's report. That persons who are found guilty of infractions or do not follow due procedure or lead to loss of public resources, we must have a fast-track process to Nsawam. Fast-track, before you see you in Nsawam, 6 months. Until we do that, until there's a set down by law to make sure that we leave office.
92.3.
Right. Ivan. Yeah, that was President John Mahama.
Yeah, Alan said that is a laudable way. But Alaska before I because my menka say and then Friday we've been doing this thing for how many years?
Hey,
I check. Yeah, so I'm taking a leave, Kakrabi.
You are taking a leave?
Yes. And every Albertman can be a check a crap. Because I say, oh, we are Jubasa home.
I don't leave.
Yeah, so I have to. Mesame koma chika krana me away. Nti say atie for antemen kan nya report. Ambush you.
Wait there.
Yes, it's
okay.
It's an ambush, so I think so right. I just have to do 1 2 1 2 be behind the scenes and things. I want to can stand here, but eventually in the future we will meet again. All right.
We're futuristic, we're power.
Easy.
Right.
So Alaska, my main cassette. Auditor General reporter ya ka ho asem da bia yi ababa ye ade a unhu se ya hwehwem ni na ye anase ya hwehwem na ye abaya ade hange ye neck
abatros
because every year bia ba hane the book kakraka ba na ya keka mu nsam amanfo kotena Public Account Committee ne ya bi se o manase ye di o man ne ho fewo na anokolebu fo kotena o hwe ne mahunu ni ne mahie be dead na ya ka na ende hwa no prosecution. So I don't know, the question is what is the essence of sitting behind those? And you see, the funny aspect of this whole thing is that the very moment I got to committee and no, I said, we in Yansa, 14 you be out, we say, Who nipa na or trend last week? We need nipa crow. Woman be a friend honorable Abena as or say Asare from Ashanti region. Oh, just we are seeing saying now question on the bisa and a microphone or say the kicking or to my room is on a kind of forata no motor finance minister
of the Ashanti region of Eastern region.
Okay,
I am member of parliament.
Okay,
I was at yes, or at one
yes.
So yes.
Question now bisa no I say Kwame Akroma na de ne buy no ra say Ghana hodo woni munti omra na omo bisa but this same person can forata na no finance ministry.
No, I deputy finance minister.
On my boy on my no board form no nyina no she was part of it. On my anya ye economy bunkam fa so nyina no she was part of it. Ba kwatena committee na nim na otia mu bisa amfo question na so for I say that is in the question some public show be na yet na ye you don't see any seriousness on anybody's part. Yansa charge obi so obetia ontia nothing happens and people within the public sector maka we see aya can't corruption na wa ho amam for pinu o mind to politicians maka cho say society na ye wom no is so corrupt to the core so it doesn't matter. The only difference is a politician no access to big money, so when the corruption happens there is big. But more access to small money, no, they are also equally as corrupt as those at the top. But only the difference is that the money no anyway, and no quite sorry them. Corruption or malam soa corrupt baby every facet of our society is so morally corrupt to the extent say the moral fabric of our society.
I am member of parliament Etiwa East.
Exactly.
Abena or say Asari.
Yes, bisa question I say. And run out money break from heaven. And then and run or break jail from heaven. And with good intention and as for why only can
I saw my gun
and the Sinipa be that. But on the can for that no more finance ministry. All the various silly decisions I cause my mind will bought for my amount for there before to about Akuffo Addo. She was part of it. What I say. So I think that is good because the same way. For the past 5 years in here, that is what I've been saying. There is no sense. We are for the general book, kakrakaba to her. Not your kind, nothing, and free mumba. And to say, yeah, Baby, make sure, say, expeditiously, no, you be prosecuting individuals. Yes, I near my way. That's the way to go. My cat say, whenever you are dealing with black people, now we'll take consequences and sanctions away. There is nothing that you do about survival, and that's about successful. Point out the consequences to the person. Say, what you call lebu? We a CEO. Or see me to your 13th month salary. Call lebu no your mama and your papa there. So, but to your 13th month salary, it must be in line with law.
Exactly.
Notify the various structures no way ahead of you. But where there, control us to your mama for.
Serious.
And the system, no? How integrated is the system? How robust is the system? And a man for taking advantage of the weak framework and structures in our doing things their way. Another day, the ultimate sufferer near the ordinary people on the ground. What I say. So I think it's a bold move. I am making sure say Auditor General report no yan tenase ma finchia na yasesa gunkratam Alaska yen take corrective measures at the various departments and agencies no. Now you making sure say as they happen we tackle them. Say obi to hospital baby. No go take a decision. Now decision, you know, owie ya so ne panchi e wo ha, you make sure say consequences no wo ha. Alaska, ye metena se ma finchia. Na me mete ahoto, na wo hu se mi wiasika. Na obi ayi nani, afishia de beba report mu a. Afi be shia no bia ma yeye.
That's right.
And afishia na bi ni ha de na ba. So we tie some of the report and individuals obi timi gi salary a, obahwehwe do ne na otu kwan.
In ade ya crowd ni say one mukura ma cost blanda and your woman number public accounts committee anymore.
Yes. Alaska, nipa na your friend saying onu wo a yetua the salary no. Because when na kwachi sika no. Na when na verify no.
That's right.
Na controller so when na otua sika na dia ma no. In the system na ye no, we are unable to check whether Alaska is at post. And some already. And some kind of try na atwatwe no. I'm asking you say.
Okay.
My culture say if you go to the various workplaces Ghana ha say aban workers 1 million na. Omo ye adwuma enuru 600,000.
It is true.
Amam 40 abrochire tu omo kada bia Akroma say. obi etu kwan.
Me see me follow we be abaiwa be say obi wo controller.
Yes.
Eka kire ne say 100 say oba apenia na nie fi. Na oba sika bi ombeje no je obema no 50,000.
Okay. Alaska. There are nurses omo free system mu a omo UK ye adwuma still omo salary ba. Nti why? Because we are so every month you are supposed to do verification.
Exactly.
Why not verify more salary
on their behalf?
So you see, sometimes I don't like the approach where problem everybody attacking the team, attacking and attacking. Say my culture say workplace, there must be systems in place. I check say and now last about Juma.
Okay.
About Juma no point yeah. And the best way, yes, log in when I the bohono. My culture say Ghana hire corrupt until you can't even trust anybody. So supervisor will be Bam when this electronic gadget above school, teacher you can 7 o'clock you log in. About 12 o'clock you log in. Upon 5 o'clock you log in. Every day 3 times. That login in the yebe jira so di calculate to salary at the end of the month. That is the only way.
And most of the private entities.
They do.
That's right.
If you go abroad, they do a lot of things. That is what they do. You clock in, you clock out. Maybe the minimum say any pabone phone, clock in, clock out. I don't accept it because we bet me clock in. Now I coffee or kwanena my time so now clock in. So you clock 3 times. Morning, afternoon, your friend saying closing time. Because when I born for a almost I want to born that is how you do. That is why I make say, yeah, president, we need a very tough, pragmatic, very intelligent, smart person. Also, we are cromfort, no, super cromfort. And before you think, no, I taught that.
And before we are smart,
yes,
only hurry up.
Because say, okay, say, young clock in and up, hey, I'm from clock in, not in one him. Or we clock or down a girlfriend, we are, or the pond who time a pond or banner clock it out. No, do what to argue so, yeah, Juma. Alaska, you clock in the morning, you clock in the afternoon, you clock in the before you leave 3 times. That data should go straight to controller.
Okay.
I am programming and no be on Saturday I have a on a computer no calculate to do and the one called you now or salary at Treya. Unyo no biana
at the end of the day, I think you are 2 senates.
And the Wutu cancer will come baby. There is no point obi unless we are then the medical way no you scan and also put it in their system. Just to check that indeed now we are doctors who be another biaba man sick leave. The more we sick leave why issue no air doors no system.
The more suspicious.
Then the more suspicious to become. These are some of the approach and the way we need to think. And some are seeing about prosecution also because we are then people are to wait the system. And these are aggressive measures. President S suggested headmaster accorded prison about 6 months. Our reputation is battered.
That's right.
Baby, I want you bet demoted. So I'm back a crown and nobody will respect you anymore. You understand? These are some of the things. Anything I call you for betting me now, I had your movie.
Obiewu, ne ye validating for 29 months.
Omankasa ko na yi.
Omukwa ye ni bi nso.
Yes.
Ekobọ nso a.
Yes. Me say a man for motu kwan, omo ti UK ye adwuma, eje pounds. Omo their salaries are still coming. I'm saying how? Because you have systems in place at hospitals now. And I say okwa aban adwuma ma. HR now supposed to verify say a month we kwaku ba adwuma we ba adwuma but anam say ko bibini na yenti no obeji sika verify will be a oni ho
and even national service nipa na ye de not one call.
Yes
now and headmaster no cry back
national service crowd is worse na merwafo nyina dingu payroll so
obi anya 90 years or national service
obi ni 1 year ni din e wo controller we say ye gi ni pay 1 year onya ni 1 year akwara nga yeah over 1,000 omudin wo paper ma yetu omoka. I tell you how dangerous. Me say we are very dangerous race. Oko Europe, some of them almost social service are such that say oh your banner say omuntu wo ahunye ma na ya ma card say obetimi akoye shopping for free say be ya wo banner na say.
That's right.
Ghana for Nigeria for the card now koyi shop niam nyina beton ya shipping ba Ghana. Me say boni we team wo 1.3. Boni we team no.
Ghana for Nigeria for.
Omo the card no koje niam and obedi the card the man say koyi na mana obetimi ma me $500 na me fa me card man na koye shopping for free because card na ban dia man no hu ni mo body ama no ono dey shepe niam beton wo kuro ma say oda business
abebie store eduba wa yesi niam aba
and most of the European countries in United they are revising some of these social policies we are very
just
dedicated. Yes, Ghana for Nigeria, for maybe it could be a seho. Ghana, Nigeria, Bonnet, I find Bonnet. So when you're dealing with this, that is why I'm saying that we need a very ruthless, pragmatic person who understands some of these things. Before was a way quicker or now cannot may hurry up.
Oh, that's right.
Before over conceive our organ, my Germany. But be at the beard.
Also, when our president will groom her, and I said, a man for bedjan, and I say you could be foul, a man for bedjan, and I was always a who called yes,
because me, Uncle Fabro, you make sure you get the person on the ground, sir. You know, say, quite okay. When you're for cry 2 years. Now, me found Alaska to radio so did you buy at another found now. May your popular, me your popular.
That's right.
Maybe found you should know say you are not coming back.
On the quiet.
Oh, no, on the then I maybe found no. The why you know is enough, sir. It will stand the test of prosecution at the law court and you will be convicted. Obia
sending message say the clocking system out the big minds, most effective.
Yes.
And to me invaded the system.
No.
As we call the big minds,
yes.
The clocking system.
Now, Alaska, you see, because some of these in IT, one kasa you can do your own design, find build a very robust firewall. I impregnable, obintimi and breaking in. One kasa na our back end access you control within, obintimi control. Then you link it to your first controller system. And then when you log in, quickly now a co-controller how that. And people they are monitoring some of these things. So I know the day uno bianco jetting the salary home. Ukojuma tre home salary yetiao.
And at the end of the day, salary baba.
Tre.
But do you know how that system need?
That is how it should be.
First now you I'm say
no, natural then.
And to bar.
Yes. Alaska, you log in. So remember there you log in the morning, you log in the afternoon. Log in 3 times a day, and Nina should reflect our controller. Database, And here, salary, ye nise salary say na meje. Day biano. Ya spread your guso, ebia day be 200 Ghana, I come over 3 home salary. Obianko, indeed, what if I know be the catcher say. To Mirika Juma. I no more bridge, no.
That's right.
Be here Juma 6 o'clock. Or sorry 4 a.m. Quite bus. Why are they running to workplace? Because on Nimsa one could draw on time. I bet me you were deep. And our salary will sank because Buronino, they don't compromise on some of these things. You know, yet the answer Saman from Guabanyo. The productive output here very low.
That's right.
Productive output. Never said on mining koye. Because a human at WH man for can be any so.
And go to some ministries, me no say or say or no more mejumantem also call lunch.
Yes.
Or call buy our funny bag.
Or coffee. And that is the culture we are not ready to address. And the headmaster also to also name cried. Na pose sika yenje no ojeje. The any so ye no. Oh, me say your problem your indiscipline greed. And your mama do in Africa yeti baby ayati. Indiscipline greed. And in as much as the president has proposed some of these effective ways on the other side, because Alaska way is dealing with the consequences, the aftermath of Niamano Moyano. But media say we should tackle the base, take corrective measures, and make sure say as they happen, we prevent them at the early stages, and that is the best approach to resolving some of these things. And the states must also show that readiness. We are no longer ready to compromise on some of these things. I mean, you don't even need to set up a fast track high court or whatever. Existing court, just resource them and make sure. Because when okay, I say Akuffo Addo fast track high court be my own. Chachuchi Kata, the assembly court, render the whole court inactivity unconstitutional.
That's right.
Because one not careful, obi be use legality to trash whatever. Remember, say we have court. Resource them. Make sure say adebio muhia bia no provide. Say judges more now you need to appoint them. Resource them. Make sure say they are able to sit on these cases on short notice. Obi and discretion. People must be penalized for discretion as well. Because you cannot sit at the office and me CEO who take a decision no consequences e wo ho no be ma man na boka. And you get away with it? No. Say obi exercise foolish discretion and the person must suffer for it. And over the years, and no one ya suffer more mine about betina high do. Kwabrane da soro si am for mine si kan ko dua nua. will be or no one himself soon to her. And on providing anything that is a foolish discretion you are exercising, and you must be punished for that because you will see car. And Kawan says some farm could be seen could be and we are only no sense soon to her.
Kabani sorry, I'll say La General Hospital, Yankubu.
You brought to a good foolish discretion. Akuffo Addo can so be sad and I will have and then La Phone hospital and then a President Mahama say or Messi.
That's right. And in 2 years' time,
Alaska
completely.
Now I dream will Tima Yakubu Hospital go.
Any more
young crowd so Messi school diamond say Chinamo school, your boom school then we have a for you find a land, erect the new building, Uriad and they're moving. That is a common practice anywhere.
That's a crime crowd be yeah access route.
And no way there. Ya block a coin no. We have found a canteen of here coin we are number. And I'm going to other coin for
a 3 the D and so for 8 years no.
That is the head. And Akuffo Addo na make cancel who or no Ghana for afido say I know no na ye.
Ahoto FM
System near very weak. And then I'm away in Aba because me Sanka President Mahama has gone to the extent of establishing a commission that will grill Akuffo Addo for many of the foolish decisions that he took. Say, what time I am prosecuting as a
to see from now up to 3 years, and so when to me I'm prosecuting asa.
Okay.
And you lay grounds so
if you don't want to prosecute him, nobody can buy you from appearing before a commission.
That's right.
Now you have the camera see so. Na Ghana for bisa. I didn't know we see cathedral. Court to be anywhere chance I did we. Na ye tutu asere na abasa. Omanya ne ho kire no a amanfo nya di ombedi. Omanya economic crunch ye ntimi nkobobosia. Na wo so betam nipa sika. Anya ma me de anya papa de. Wodi kwa kusi cathedral na de na ba wadwenem. Then no one can't the whole world. Na
anya se bia a land kora ye fufuro. Baby ye sisi adanse. Oba papa no.
Na wo bu judges dan ya to agu.
Omansika high diamond in dollars.
Yes. Now I catch Ghana for. Say we are president. Yes, I'm now we are kokoti. That is why I say we see we need to be very tough. We need to be very radical. We cannot play nice when you want to deal when you are dealing with criminals. You need to tell them you are an extra criminal before you deal with these people because someone prosecuting nobody can refuse a commission's your friends saying a call.
Okay.
So come and explain why you covered the Sikano. Oko high down what Adakulu 15 million. Now what this 17 million year renovation. Now we are no obi ankwatram yankwa ya hwe wo ho.
But serious so.
Adakulu. Alaska.
What the Adakulu?
Yes.
COVID time no.
Yes.
Oko high down 15 million.
Yes.
And now your renovation 17 million.
Yes.
Oh
we are yes. Oh the other bear no cry no
nya bio.
Meno Yesika, and that was the president.
Hey!
No has the gut and the infantry to be sitting somewhere talking nonsense. Alaska, can I make a system be very weak? Paul, I have read around politics, and one thing I am strength I made the name of politics a deterrence. In the beginning of after Second World War, Russia and America were built arms race and more building nuclear weapons.
That's right.
Nobody ever thought of, and it's never going to be happen. So people use nuclear warhead. It will be so. Since World War II, 1945 to now, what will be used to that? No. The only time even atomic bomb could be used is when America used it. The fence saying Hiroshima and then the fence in Japan. That is the only time they hold this thing as deterrence to deter other person. They say this are the way I am mutually destructive. And to what attack me attack and that will protect you. Deterrence. That is why a death penalty we take it off the table because we are jokers. Because death penalty is there not for killing people. Say to deter. And people find easy killing. Obit me that and for no bunicom. Obit me catch and a girlfriend so could me with Trinity.
Immigration officer.
Yes. To me friend and for say, Mombra me fee my friend immigration or banner kuno. No be say e ba ne say na brand any to me convincing and for 5 people momu nyina tie ase so oba ye bekuno. What is asem na say? We need to spell out consequences. Sabe ya nipa be hu say ade o mekoya e ho nsunsanso nie na ya nya ne aguma.
Okay, so abusua we ne ensema e course so our political highway so eye Ivan Chi and I ten nka say odisa ensem no to da enye asem keto akra Ivan Chi de ono no Gen Z for ne de debia obuso blast politicians na omo pese omo di online ne bone ne beda mase samoje pene kokotisa and some way e de mi aha Ghana Politics Avenue. So and don't forget to click on the notification bell so na be any update be drop bia no wonsa ebetumi akabi number one political trending stories are make waves any headlines political highway so yen so ya dia to say ye de bebrem beda mase